September 11th, 2001, the day the world changed. But nearly 25 years later, questions still burn hotter than the rubble that smoldered for weeks in Lower Manhattan. We were told it was 19 hijackers with box cutters, but the deeper you look, the darker it gets. From collapsing steel to vanishing planes, today, we pull the wool off 9/11. Steel-framed skyscrapers, built to withstand aircraft impact, crumbled like sandcastles. The official story? Fire caused a structural pancake collapse. But watch again. They didn't just fall, they vaporized. 110 floors disintegrated in under 10 seconds, falling at near free-fall speed. Multiple witnesses reported explosions, popping sounds from the basement. Firefighters, journalists, civilians, all ignored by the official story. World Trade Center 7, not hit by a plane, small fires, and yet, down it went at 5:20 p.m., falling symmetrically in under 7 seconds. The official explanation? Office fires. The likely reality? Controlled demolition. Confirmed by architects, engineers, and logic. The U.S. military had the most sophisticated air defense system on the planet. NORAD, trained for hijackings, was somehow completely paralyzed. 4 commercial airliners went off course, transponders off, for over an hour, no interception, no response. Why? NORAD was conducting drills that same morning, simulating hijacked planes crashing into buildings in NYC.
We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York. We need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise? Is this real world or exercise?
Coincidence or cover? The investigation, if you can call it that, was headed by Peter Zelikow, a close associate of Condoleezza Rice. Conflict of interest? Massive. President Bush and Vice President Cheney testified, together, behind closed doors.
Why are you and the Vice President insisting on appearing together before the 9/11 Commission?
Because the 9/11 Commission wants to ask us questions. That's why we're meeting, and I look forward to meeting with them and answering their questions.
Why you're appearing together rather than separately, which was their request?
Because it's a good chance for both of us to answer questions that the 9/11 Commission is looking forward to asking us, and I'm looking forward to answering them.
No transcript, no press, no accountability, and the Commission's budget? Less than a quarter of what was spent investigating a presidential affair. Flight 77 supposedly slammed into the Pentagon at 530 miles per hour, and yet, where's the plane? Only 5 frames of footage released, no wings, no tail, no debris consistent with a 757. Lawn untouched. The entry hole, 16 feet wide.
From my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. And as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand.
Experts, including pilots and engineers, say it's impossible. So, what really hit the Pentagon? Flight 93, the plane that fought back, allegedly crashed into a Pennsylvania field. But where's the plane? First responders were baffled. No wreckage, no bodies, just a smoldering hole. The debris field stretched miles, suggesting an in-air explosion, not a crash. The FBI released names and photos of the 19 hijackers within 48 hours, but then reports surfaced. Some of them were still alive. Identity theft? Or a false flag? While the towers burned, President Bush sat in a classroom, told America is under attack, and did nothing for 7 minutes. His family has been in business with the bin Laden family for years.
In 1976, Osama's older brother Salim bin Laden hired a man in Texas by the name of Jim Bath to handle all the investments in the United States for the bin Laden family. Jim Bath also happens to be a personal, almost lifelong friend and former Air National Guard pilot with George W. Bush. Connections between the Bushes and the bin Ladens become much more clear when George Herbert Walker Bush made trips to Saudi Arabia in 1998 and 2000 to meet with the bin Laden family on behalf of a company called the Carlyle Group.
Vice President Cheney gave the order to stand down, according to Transportation Secretary Norman Mineta. That testimony vanished from the final report. His defense contract company would make billions from the war in Iraq, billions in insurance payouts, trillions missing from the Pentagon. A new war economy was born. Survivors described explosions in the basement before the planes hit.
It was down in the basement, came down, all of a sudden the elevator blew up.
And as we were coming out, we passed the lobby, there was no lobby. So I believe the bomb hit the lobby first, and a couple of seconds then the first plane hit.
As I'm walking by the main freight car of the building, in the corridor, that's when I got blown.
Janitors, firefighters, reporters, all ignored. And beneath the rubble, molten steel.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel running down the channel rails. Like you're in a foundry. Like lava.
Weeks later, scientists found traces of thermite, a military-grade explosive used in demolition. Hundreds of cameras at the Pentagon, in D.C., around the WTC, confiscated. Most footage never released. Black boxes mysteriously unrecovered or erased. Why? Iraq, Afghanistan, Homeland Security, the Patriot Act, civil liberties traded for security. 2 decades of endless war, built on a day full of holes. Nearly 3,000 souls were lost that day. They deserve truth, not silence. Justice, not sound bites. And we deserve answers. Because if it wasn't as they said, then what really happened on 9/11?